Hey guys, I'm going to try to knock out a quick video on replacing the valve cover gasket. I don't know if you can see this they are not reusable. I'd like to ask Ford why they are not reusable, but they are on the 7.3, but apparently not on the Triton V10s or the other Triton motors. Not a big deal to replace these. The easiest thing I found is knock them off, cut them out like that. Not going to be a real long video. I didn't see any on YouTube on how to actually do this part of this procedure, so try not to take too long with this. The reason I'm doing this was because I had a blown head gasket on the V10. It's 2000 model, 2 valve. And while I had the heads off, which by the way is a pretty invested amount of time, and I've never done that before, not on one of these motors. I guess there's a reason they take the cab off, and that would have been easy, but I don't have a lift, so I ended up with most of the front cap off of the radiator support, everything that goes along with all that. Had all that off. Start back on this end. To me, it was easier to just cut around that, knock them out. Learned a lot on this. Project. So I'm going to be using Felpro gaskets, and I'm not making any money off Felpro or anybody else. No one's paying me to say any of this. There it goes. Discard. All right, next project is going to be to get these studs out. The easiest thing I found was take a pair of needle nose pliers, go in, pop them out. There you go. Now, what we're going to do with that is put the new grommet back on, take a razor blade, pop it off, just like that. I put a little white lithium grease on right here. Chamfer side. Guess you guys can see that. I'm gonna pop it back on just like that. And there we go. That's gonna go right back in that hole after you clean everything. So take them off in order. I mean, I'm not the sharpest crayon in the box, so I have to make things go in order like it sits. So we're gonna knock that one off. I'm getting behind this flange. After that part, I don't care. I don't think it really matters if I'm behind the grommet or not. 3. I didn't see any videos. I'm sure I'm missing them, but I didn't see a video on anybody showing how to do this actual part of the procedure. A lot of people would go through the motion of taking the valve cover out of off the engine, and then they're magically, valve covers are back on. I mean, the gaskets are back on. All right, so I took those off, put them in order on my shop towel there, like they'll be just like that. Knock out this side. One, We'll get to another couple of important steps in a minute. 3. Put them in order now. You'll get everything torqued back down and find out that you had a bracket mount to one of these studs and the stud is in the wrong place. So we don't want that. So y'all help me remember the valve cover, the oil fill tube is on my left-hand side. There's the last stud, goes on the end. Now you're going to want to go through and make sure that you get all of this old material out. Discard it, obviously. Nice needle nose pliers. There's one that didn't come out. Done. Out. All right, that's all of them. I sprayed some brake parts cleaner. Took a little brush, went around. You want to make sure your gasket channel is clean. It's just a little wire toothbrush type deal, wire parts brush. Not a very stiff brush. Enough to knock any buildup down. All right, put the brush away. Get a towel. And then, same pair of pliers. Kind of use them to go around the gasket channel. And you guys may already know every bit of this, and I'm sure a lot of you already do, but I didn't know it and I had to figure it out on my own. This job will make you wonder why you didn't pay somebody to do it until you get a price. I'm talking about the head gasket, full head gasket job. And I think it's something like 30 hours labor. That's why I didn't pay somebody to do it. My truck is not worth that much. All right, I made my way back around. Problem with that one. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm trying to remember to speak up. Can't have any music in the background. All right, there's only one way this will go. Like that. Make sure everything fits. Now, we're gonna knock out some more of these real quick. We're gonna do them in order. I already did one. Knock them out, razor blade to cut the old grommet off. Toss the grommets as you do them. Remember, in order. Grommet, razor blade, cut. Just got back from St. Louis. Any of you guys from St. Louis? Actually went to St. Charles area. Visited a friend for 3 days. Went down to the Bass River. Floated half the day away. Went to the historic district and ate at a place called Salt and Smoke. If you've been there, let me know what you thought about it. All right, knocking all these grommets out. Hope y'all can see it. Take a razor blade, cut right down through there. grommet falls off. The old grommet. New, we'll go on in just a second, do all of these, keep them in order. Or you'd be like me, you'd be scratching your head wondering why my wire bracket on support, whatever used to be there, doesn't fit anymore. Keep them in order. Some of you real mechanics, y'all do this in your sleep, I'm sure. In order, leave them in order. Man, I bet I took 300 pictures when I was doing this, pulling those heads and all that. All right, so these are fairly clean anyway. So we're gonna get a little lithium grease. I'll show you why in a minute. We're gonna put it on that flange. Keep them in order. About 25 years ago, I bought a small tube of white lithium grease. Used to be about that long. And when it gets where I can't get my finger down anymore, I cut some more off of it. If you got a better way to do this, feel free to let me know. I might do this. I might never do this again. I might do it again in 3 months on something else. I don't know. I'm gonna give a shout out to Ford Tech Macaluco. I think that's how you do it. I watch his videos. He's a great teacher. He's got the heart of a teacher. He wants you to understand how to do these things. But there again, he may have a video out like this, but I didn't see it. So we're putting maybe you can see that. Putting this little bit right here, and I'll show you why again in a minute. Keep your studs in order. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know too, because I don't want to do anything wrong. All right, I already did that one. Keep them in order, keep them in order. All right, wipe my hands off. Okay, now we're gonna go through. Here's that chamfered edge. Goes on like this. I feel like that lithium grease gonna help that slide over better. Boop. Keep them in order. All these are the same. All the grommets are the same. Obviously some of the studs are different. I guess it helps have good thumbnails. Should look like that when you get your new grommet on. Sorry, I'm not speaking up. Yeah, I've been working on this project 2 hours at a time for about, seems like every other weekend for about 3 months now. Eventually I'm going to get it done, because I want to drive the truck again. That V10 seam, even with a blown head gasket, it seems like it's going to be a beast. I don't know if it'll hang with my 7.3, my 2000 Power Stroke 7.3. I don't know if it'll hang with that monster, but it's I want to show you something on the valve cover gasket itself. 6 of these holes have a little inside flange. Flange, no flange, flange, no flange, no flange, 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 none, none, flange, none, 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 flange. All right. Remember, we're going to keep these in order. So we did this. So I'm working kind of backwards. That was a stud. Can you see what I'm working on? Okay. Put that stud through. This is the one with the flange that I just showed you, the inside flange. Put that stud through, and that flange is going to go behind this lip. That's going to hold your valve cover gasket down. Now, the best tool to do that is to sneak into the kitchen and get a butter knife. This one happens to be, who knows? I don't know. That's a joke, man. Y'all don't go get your wife's butter knife out of the kitchen. Get something that, but it's, you don't want it sharp because you don't want to cut it. You don't want to cut your flange. Push that. I guess you could get your wife's butter knife. Don't tell them I said so. They'd be hunting me down, man. Push that flange under there. There it goes. Now, when you flip that gasket, we'll flip this head valve cover over. It won't, your valve cover won't drop off, because this is the passenger side, and it is tight to get back in there. All right, there's another one. No flange. You can feel it seat. Flange. Knock it out. Gotta keep it tight from the back. Yeah, this is just an old butter knife that I've had back here for a while. I picked up at a thrift store. Making sure I got everything in order. Yep. No flange on this one. No flange. Make sure that you can feel these things seat in there. Make sure that's good. And my last one on this side has a flange. Take your butter knife. Just kind of work that, or a small dull screwdriver, but you don't want to cut that. You don't want to cut that. All right. All that got put back in order. Go from the other end. Got a flange. The Felpro comes with instructions, but it doesn't. They're more like reminders, I guess. No flange. Make sure it's seated. No flange. Seated. No flange. It's seated. Flange. Make sure it's seated, then push that little rubber seal lip flange down under. I mean, it's going to be obvious when you see. You'll see, oh, that's what that knucklehead was talking about. No flange. No flange. Remember, this rubber flange that I've shown y'all is going to pop in from the top of the head valve cover gasket. Push the flange with this tool. There'll be a little thin flange. Pop it down under there. Last one has a flange. Doesn't take a lot. there you go. Everything's there. Double check, make sure everything's seated. All right. Let me get a close-up of it. See what I mean there? The flange I didn't get the flange seated good. And of course, this is the one that hides back behind the heater box. And that's the one you do not want it to come off. You want to make sure that valve cover gasket is in the right place. Okay. It's seated. Give y'all a close-up of everything. Yeah, it's still dirty on the inside of the valve cover. No point in telling me that. All right. That's it, man. I hope that helps y'all. Time to go wiggle it back into place on the block. If you have any questions about I'm sorry I didn't make any videos. I wish I had made videos doing the rest of the engine, the head gasket replacement, or everything else, but that gets to be a hassle. There's not a lot of room under that engine compartment. Hey, y'all holler at me if you got any questions. Have a good one.